trying to find out why $100,000 was justified.
Yeah, we're going in the sun. Did you mention
but yeah, a lot of people.
Join the club. Jesse, it's great to meet you. We were in Minneapolis. We've been all over seeing you. It was great.
Okay.
Yeah, we made like 70, 50, 70 family. Yeah, heck yeah.
Hi.
We do a Freedom Summit every year. Ron Paul spoke twice on it. And so we're going to go ahead. I already sent her the information. And she has information for you. It's at the end of March. So we're trying to get you there.
That's going to be tough.
Give me a text code. So, that's what airplanes are for.
The problem is, I live down there, it's hard to get me because I live off the grid. I live an hour from pavement, an hour from electricity.
So you know...
There's no way to communicate with you.
I am right now, in the March.
It'll be difficult because I go down there. I don't come back until May.
Well, we have, Dr. Paul. We'll see. Maybe you'll want to. But, you'll have to do it.
Yeah, no, I'll get it all. And if I can, I will.
You'll see the speakers that we have. A lot of guys you know.
Very good. No, when I disappear down there, it's for a purpose. I go down there to get lost, to go off the face of the earth, and if you can explain it that way, and I like it like that. Well, we'll try to keep this as civil as we can.
What are you doing here today, Jesse?
What am I doing here? Talking to you.
You have strong feelings?
No, I'm here because Karen, the senator, asked me to come down and participate in a 9/11 here in Arizona, and I thought that's not a bad idea. And so I came down and on the anniversary of 9/11.
What are your feelings about 9/11?
I have questions about it now, like many of us do. I think it's growing and growing with the population that more and more of us are questioning what happened that day. And we're also looking to find out if the truth was withheld from us. And the more you study it, the more difficult for me it becomes to believe what my government told me.
Do you suspect the government cover-up? Do you suspect the government complicity?
I don't know exactly what to suspect, but I do suspect that the story and what they told us may not be the truth.
In what regard, sir?
Well, in what regard? I find it, well, where do we start? That might be the best. I find it very difficult in talking with eyewitnesses who were there who were ignored. There's eyewitnesses that were never brought in front of the 9/11 Commission. Why? Why was the 9/11 Commission, when it first started, made a statement that they weren't there to judge anyone? Well, then what were they there for? What was their purpose? And they, to me, in hindsight, when I look at what happened that day, I have a difficult time trying to figure out how a fire could drop a skyscraper. And why aren't we being warned today then? If what they said is true about Building 7, the third building, that it fell because of only fire, well, shouldn't there be a national thing going on then to stop all smoking, all hot plates, all everything in a skyscraper? Because, and why aren't we being warned that fire alone can drop a skyscraper to the ground?
What purpose would the government have in keeping the truth from the American people?
Well,
what would be what could be the
well, let's examine something. Thomas Jefferson, one of his most famous quotes was, "Dissension is the greatest form of patriotism." That was said by Thomas Jefferson. I find it very disturbing that since 9/11, we've been following the philosophies of Hermann Göring, a Nazi. Hermann Goring made the statement that it's easy to take a country to war. Easy. It doesn't matter if they're a democracy, a dictatorship, communist, or anything. What you must first do is convince the people they're under attack. Then you denounce all the pacifists for being unpatriotic. And you also state that they're putting the country in danger because of the position they're taking, empowering the enemy. Now, isn't that the exact thing we've been told since 9/11? I ask you that. Is that what we've been told?
Well, I'm not here to answer
Yes,
questions.
you are.
I'm here to ask the questions.
If you do interviews with me,
So.
you be prepared to answer questions too. I'm asking your opinion. You ask me a question. Is that not what we've been told since 9/11?
Well, again, sir, I'm not here to give my personal opinion. So,
Do you believe that?
That's really copping out, if you ask me. But the point is, why are we following the philosophy of Hermann Goring? And yet we're not following what Thomas Jefferson said, dissension's the greatest form of patriotism. We're told if you dissent, you're unpatriotic.
Do you believe that Muslim extremists were part of the plot?
I don't know. Let's look at the government's theory, and theirs is only a theory. I ask you this question. Why has Osama bin Laden not been charged by the Department of Justice for 9/11? They charged him when he attacked our embassy in '98. They convened a grand jury, they presented evidence, and the grand jury came down with an indictment. Why has he not been indicted for 9/11? Why, when you go to the FBI website and you pull up international terrorism, and they have their top 10 terrorist lists, which bin Laden's on, when you pull his name up, the attack on the Coles there, the attack on the embassies there, but amazingly 9/11's not. The largest single terrorist attack in history, our own FBI doesn't credit him for. And when pressed, you know what their answer was? We don't have enough evidence. Now, excuse me, we've gone to 2 wars, we've changed our entire foreign policy, and we've had the Patriot Act put on us, which strips us of our rights. And they don't have enough evidence to charge this man? How do you put a bounty on someone if you haven't charged them?
who do you believe?
Now,
sir?
let me ask this. Why am I doing your jobs? Why am I doing your jobs? You're making me investigate, and now you're questioning me when it should be the opposite. You should be investigating, and I should be questioning you on your investigations. But you guys are all dropping the ball. Don't you find that a bit interesting that the FBI doesn't list 9/11? Don't you think you ought to go ask them?
Who do you believe
I don't
was
know.
behind the attacks?
I do not know. But I do know that there are a lot of unanswered questions. Why was no one put under oath at the 9/11 commissions? To tell the truth. Why did they allow a president and a vice president to testify together in a room, not under oath? That's very peculiar to
So
me.
you're suggesting that this
I'm
government...
not suggesting anything.
Well, you're asking
I am
questions.
simply asking questions, and the last time I checked, I believe the First Amendment to our Constitution allows you to do that.
Governor, I believe
Sure.
the reason that the president and vice president testified together, that was part of a negotiated deal with the 9/11 Commission. They were trying to find a way to get them to testify. People can agree or disagree with that, but I think to answer your question, that was the reason that they testified together.
Why wouldn't they testify separately?
You'd have to ask them.
Yeah, no, you would, but you're not,
Not
are
in the
you?
White House press pool. You have more access as a famous ex-governor than I do as a little reporter in Phoenix.
No, I
at the White
don't.
House.
No, I
You've
don't.
never spoken with the White House?
Not since I got out of office. I'm a civilian.
That's
I
my
have
point.
no, that's my point. I have no more power, you have more power than me.
Seems like you're the one with all the microphones and cameras in front of you right now.
That's your call.
Governor, what do you Governor, what do you hope to accomplish with this?
It's called the truth. I'd like to know the truth. I'd like to know that, did we go to war, 2 wars over a lie? I mean, let's remember, I went and taught at Harvard in 2004, and McNamara came through, and they've now admitted the Gulf of Tonkin incident never happened. Well, for those of you too young to know, that was the incident that got us full-fledged into the Vietnam War, where 58,000 of